Okay, yes, I wanted to make this real quick. I always say real quick and it ends up going 15, 20 minutes. But okay, there's two questions. And I'm probably gonna forget the second one because I'm probably going around first on the first topic. The first one is okay. We okay for those guys, let's say if a guy, if you haven't really got if you happen to be a guy who's, maybe 19, 20, 21, and he hasn't seen like the other side of the dating market when he hits 30, when like, when women how guys don't want to really mess with women too over 30 too much. Um this first question is for you. Um because when you're young, when you're like 19, 20, you're just like thirsty for a life partner and that whole dream woman in your head to, do all this shit for you and, have sex with you, blah, blah, blah. But you really got to like look at the reality. Now, the first thing, and I touched on this in the previous video, the first question you want to ask is you want to ask the woman this. Ask her, why should you love her? Ask her why should I love you? Ask her that. And see, and see, and then the fucked up part with that question is the answer is going to bring out a true response in a woman usually. Well, within her head, because the true response, which goes back to, like I say, the core of the exchange between a man and a woman, one of them's got to be the pimp, and one of them's got to be the hoe. In every relationship, that equal shit, like completely equal, that shit, it never lasts long. That's what you call summer flings. They don't last long. So, okay, when you ask her this question, her initial thought is going to be that she's a thought. It's going to come back to, well, I give you sex. Like that is her pure initial like response. But she can't say that because now that makes me sound like a hooker. So I gotta say something else. But see what I'm saying? Like, ask them why. See, because they're so used to just getting by because they're a woman. You see what I'm saying? Not don't have to put much effort in. This goes back to the previous video I did today about buying a woman a drink. They're just so used to it at this point that like it's just the norm to just, oh, I just deserve it. I'm just here, right? I deserve it. I gotta do some work. I gotta think. What I want to think. That's woman's minds. They don't want to think. They don't want to do that. They want to think when it sounds beneficial, when it sounds like they can get some attention for it. They like to think. But when we behind, like any man who's lived with a woman behind closed doors, like one of them's got to be the pimp, one of them's got to be the hoe. And in most case, in more and more cases, usually the pimp is the man. Now sometimes the pimp can be the woman, but a lot of times the pimp is the man, and the hoe has to like please him, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's the first question. The second question is I want you to ask yourself is this. Um, and this doesn't matter what age you are. This is just you being you. Um, let's say you got a girlfriend right now. What is it about her that is really that and oh yeah, there was this comedian, he actually spoke about this, and this is real shit. So I'm pretty much gonna repeat what he said. What is it about her that you would actually miss if she was gone? And every man has to go and think about it because there's really, I mean, because like the only part that you would actually miss is your own ego in the situation of being with a woman. That's the part you're actually gonna miss with a lot. Now some girls, like, they do genuinely make good, good partners in life to be with. I'm not talking about them. But a lot of women, you don't get like I say, 9 out of 10 women are gonna be dog shit of the planet. And every 1 out of 10 to 20 is actually gonna be worth it, you know. But most of the time, man, like, you do okay. That, like, what would you actually miss? That was the first. That was second. The first part of the second question. What would you actually miss? Like, if she were to leave you, what would genuinely be worse off? Like, well, what seriously? Like, what would genuinely be worse if she left in the overall picture? Like, like the trade off would usually end up benefiting you. The only way, see, like when you break up, when you and a woman break up, a lot of times, what you're real okay as a man, what you are really breaking up with is your ego. You see what I'm saying? You're like you're breaking up with your ego, playing the fact that I have a partner type shit. That's what you're really breaking up. You're not really, a lot of times, you're not really breaking up with that woman. Now, sometimes, like I said, some women are great, and you do break up, and you break up with that woman, and that can suck. But a lot of times, you breaking up with your own ego about it. And the second part of the question is, what was it? Because I was on Facebook, man, and that shit is just ridiculous. But let's say, and this is probably more directed towards females. If let's say if like tomorrow, let's say by this time next Friday, right? Every woman on the planet got was known to have HIV, right? Just or AIDS, just like boop, you got AIDS, right? Who would actually okay, but okay, let's say okay, let me start over. Okay, let's say let's say at the drop of midnight, boop, every woman had AIDS, right? That scenario is pretty much trying to say, let's say if women were not wanted for sex anymore. Like they got AIDS, or their vagina was like sewn shut, or they were known to have like a deadly, highly transmittable STD that night. How many people would actually talk to a woman after that? You see, like how many men would actually like keep talking to you or give you something, or like or show you any type of affection or anything like that? You see what I'm saying? Like that's what this shit always comes back down to. That's the core of the interaction between the two. And since I've been in America, man, like fucking with these American dudes, like talking these motherfuckers, like they are just so pussy whipped and beat down. Like it's like they are like this modern feminism is seriously doing this sick thing to men where they are. I'll tell you where it started from. In my opinion, it started from okay. It started in America, how the whole African Americans after slavery thing, like oh, you feel sorry for African Americans because his great 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 grandpa was a slave, and then white people kind of had to keep seeing this, and they were slowly kind of getting jealous and angry because they didn't have something, they couldn't play a victim. You see what I'm saying? So then once the white population in America could grab hold of mental illness, that was the first big step, was mental illness. Like, oh, I'm so depressed. Oh, see that's when all that shit became like normalized and okay. Because like I said, that like for years, white people had to listen to black people being oppressed and blah blah, which they were. It was a legit thing. Like they legit wouldn't even rent to black people in certain areas or give them home insurance and made sure they couldn't go to certain schools. They did fuck up black people. I'm not knocking that, but this is how the course of life went in America. So because the white people kept sitting back going, oh well, I wish I had something to feel sorry for, but I'm white, so I get everything. So as soon as that depression shit took off, oh, I got ADD, I got PTSD because my mommy yelled at me. They fucking because they got they got that sympathy up out of them. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, see, I'm like those black people. I got something wrong with me too. See, I'm sad. I'm oppressed because I was depressed and I didn't feel like going to work, and I'm just oh oh and that's how it started. Then after that, that next wave of feminism kind of like I mean like what pussy does. It manipulates its way into shit to get more benefits when they see more attention and benefits that can come to it. So what do modern feminists latch on to? They latch on to the oppressed. They never latch on to the ones who are doing who are the oppressors, because there's no attention in that. That's why. You see, they're going over to everybody who's hurt because my heart just goes out to all those poor African kids. I ain't going to Africa, bitch, but I feel sorry for them. I just feel so sorry for them. You can just put my face on the front of this brochure. That'd be great. But I ain't going to Africa. Fuck that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what happened to this modern feminism shit that kind of like came in. So then now my assumption what happened then was that after that modern feminism took over, so that meant like single mother households went up through the fucking roof because bitches thought they can do the same shit men can do, which they can't in this regard. And so they start struggling. So now they need baby daddy government to come in and at least give them a little bit of extra money, which we all know women unanimously just are not good with money on overwhelming average. They are just not, because they're too impulsive and they know it. You see what I'm saying? And the governments knows it, different countries know it. That's why every time you go on the shopping malls in different countries, all the women's stores are put up front. All the women's stores are easy to access. Why? Because bitches don't like to do work. They want to walk. They want to moonwalk into that first store or on that lower level where everything's close by. You see what I'm saying? But what? Yeah, and I went on a rant again. But this is what I'm trying to say. Like, oh, okay. Well, let's go back to the feminism. So the next what happened was the feminism started. It was the feminism. They've seen that they had some power over men on top of the already power they had as being women over men. So then they started just like fucking just saying, yeah, you aren't good enough, blah blah blah. And what's every man instinct with a woman is to fix it so he can get back to fucking her. That is every man's instinct to a woman's problems. Well, if I fix it, it'll be a quicker path back to me fucking her again. That's what it is. Then, so what happened was a large population of guys just start going, well, that's what Susan wants. If it gets me back to her pussy, I'll give it to her. If that's what Susan wants, and I can get back into her vagina again, then yeah, she's right. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then they started raising their kids on that shit. And then those kids started believing it. And then we just got this big old cluster of dumb fuck we got now. And then, like I said, especially in America. So what it leads to is American men are just like following the shit, which as man, you were never supposed to follow nothing. You were supposed to lead it. Women ain't supposed to be leading. You see what happens every time they lead something. Every single time in history when they led something, what happened? Either they got fucking annihilated or they had to go run to a man for some fucking help to keep from getting annihilated. That's what happens every fucking time. It has never ever failed in history. Ever. At any time period. What it's the same shit. They might win for they might be, Dwayne Wagner. Remember him, the little dude from the basketball player who he thought was gonna be Allen Iverson, and he had like 2 good years and you never heard from him again. They might do some shit like that. When they might be rookie of the year a couple years. But then after that, they because they're not wired. It sounds like I'm making fun of them, but I'm not trying to make fun of them. It's how they brains were never made to do that. You see, they were never made to be that independent. Like they were made to follow what a man said. Because the reality of it is, which they already know it, they just don't like to hear it out loud. Because it comes out in all the little things. Let's say like when a man just starts yelling. He ain't even yelling at her. He just starts yelling. Women instinctively get scared, which I learned that as a grown man. I don't know if you guys do that, but women like they instinctively, like their instincts tell them to feel fear when as soon as you raise your voice. Every time. Every time. Like they instinctively it's them. You see now on the other hand, like our brains are not built to hear mommy, 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 5, 6,000 times a minute. We're not built for that shit. So we tell little motherfucker shut the fuck up or go sit in that fucking room for a while. But women, they'll sit up and just deal with it all day long. There's no, it bothers them, but they can handle it. Our brains are not built, are not wired for that shit. You see them? We're not wired to be out for patience. We want to get something done quick as possible, boom, and out the door. Women are built more for patience and caring and nurturing. That's why you see they're not built to lead shit, man. And this is the situations that we end up with now is in America, man. In these Western countries, these progressive countries, watching it like the men are just fucking pussies, man. And then who's like plowing these bitches and spitting in their face and shit. The guys like me, the guys who know what the game is for real. Because see, with those guys who's falling for this shit, who's too afraid to ask them the questions that I told you to ask them earlier, those guys don't have it in them to fuck them how they want to be fucked for real. They just don't got, and the women know it. They knew it from the first meeting they had with him. He don't got it in him to fuck me like how I want to be fucked. I want somebody to pull my hair and spit in my mouth and piss down my asshole. That's what she really wants. But you see, because the beta dudes, because what really happens with them male feminists is, with the male feminists and those guys like that, it's kind of saying how I said earlier, like with the guy who, when you break up with a woman, you're really breaking up with your own ego, because that woman is, it's like breaking up with a pencil. Like there's 50 million other pencils that do the same fucking thing. You really breaking up with your own ego in the shit. You see, like that was my favorite pencil, and no other pencil is gonna do the same shit, that same thing that the other pencil did. But with the male feminists, it's kind of same thing. Like their ego is kind of defeating them. Well, not, I'm not saying it's kind of, their ego is defeating them when it comes to women. Like it really, because their ego is telling is telling them, well, if I just if I do what she says and I provide for her, then she's gonna love me forever, blah blah blah. And then while you go to work, she's getting like literally like pounded out by that fucking dude that she claimed she hated 5 minutes ago, and he's shoving his dick down her throat. You see what I'm saying? Because see, that male ego is listening to what a woman's saying. It's not watching her fucking actions, and that's where they get fucked up every fucking time. You see what I'm saying? They or yeah, and they'll get and then we'll see, now a lot of guys, what'll happen is they'll get with a woman, uh she'll end up hitting a wall, and then sometimes like her self-esteem is so hit from hitting that wall to where she won't fucking around, because she knows, the next options in life for a partner are going to be so slim that she'll be so scared, just stick with that main guy. But some women, they don't care. Like I said, that feminism got them deep, and girl, we just like a man, we can do whatever we want to. And that shit, it's just sad, man. It's sad watching it. Like it's just sad watching how beat down modern men are in these Western countries. And then, like I said, man, like, I can't wait till I get the fuck up out of here. I got to go. I'm going to Vegas in a few weeks, and I'm going back to Europe. Like definitely by October, man. I can't do this shit. It's a wonder I stay here this long. It's been almost 4 months now. I told myself I was gonna stay 6 months. I and if it wasn't for my buddy asking to go to Vegas, I would have been gone by. I'd be probably doing this from Europe right now. But I was waiting on him because he wanted to go to Vegas, and he got these gangster ass hotel rooms. I was like, cool, well, I'll go. But yeah, man, that's it.